Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do, but I'm also a little bit nervous. So I'm going to be doing two different eye looks using two palettes that are currently on my chopping block. So a couple weeks ago I posted 8 eyeshadow palettes that are on my chopping block, palettes that I was thinking about decluttering from my collection, and I explained why. I'll have that video listed down below. I got a lot of feedback in there saying maybe I should do a video trying some of these palettes one more time and trying to decide if I'm going to keep or declutter them. I thought that was a good idea. I went ahead and did some polls over on my community tab, and the top 2 palettes that were selected were the Juvia's Place Festival palette and also the Colourpop Yes Please palette. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much. So I'm going to be doing 2 different eye looks with these palettes, and I'm excited, but like I said, also a little bit nervous for it. But I'm also really excited because today's video is actually going to be in partnership with Moda Brushes, because something kind of cool has happened. Moda Brushes has selected me as their Moda Maven for the month of November. So it's just kind of like a recognition program that Moda Brushes does for bloggers, and I'm really quite excited and honored to be chosen by Moda Brushes. This is really cool to me. So basically what it means, I'm just going to be working with Moda Brushes on a couple of videos throughout the month of November using their brushes. Today it's just going to be the eye brushes since I'm just doing an eye look. I just have my bigger brushes out here because I use them to complete my face makeup today since it's already done. They also did like a little Q&A with me over on their website, just kind of talking about myself, Moda Brushes, some of my favorite brushes, etc. So I'll have that link down below in case you want to check that out. I also have had an affiliate code with Moda Brushes for quite some time. It's been Samantha, and you get 10% off your order with Moda Brushes. But for the month of November, it's actually going to be listed at 20%. So that's pretty cool too for you guys if you are interested in checking anything out over there. I think I'm going to go ahead and list just all of my favorite face and eye brushes from Moda Brushes down below. I'll link everything as well. That way if you want to check out that in the description box, and if there's any brushes that you want to pick up, you can pick them up for the 20% off. They also do have a lot of sets over there too, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that, and you know, a big thank you to Moda Brushes for selecting me. This was really cool, you know, to kind of receive that recognition. Thank you guys so much for the support, and yeah, I'm pretty pumped. So if you would like to see 2 different eye looks today using my Moda Brushes and these 2 palettes that I'm thinking about decluttering, why don't we go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so first up, I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place Festival palette because I had to do 2 separate polls because you can only do 5 options in each poll. So I did 4 and 4 since I had 8 palettes, and in the first poll, this won by 42%, I believe it was, and that was the highest. Even it surpassed Colourpop as well. So this was the most requested palette to see for this video. This is the palette that intimidates me probably the most out of everything that I talked about, because this is what the inside of it looks like, and I'm just not super artistically creative. So like I explained in my chopping block video, that when I pull this palette out, my brain just goes, what am I supposed to be doing with this kind of color combination? But I thought about it. I was looking at photos on Instagram, but my friend Heidi from Everyday Heidi, I'll have her video linked down below. She did a tutorial a while back with this palette, and I remember I always really liked it. So when it popped up, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna follow her tutorial. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I did like a really pretty, like yellowy, red, orangey with a bit of gold makeup look. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So she first took this kind of like mustardy yellow shade, and she placed that into the crease as her transition color. So I'm going to be using this Crease / Smudge brush. This one comes in the Smokey Eye set, so I'll have the set, go ahead and list it. So I will have the set linked down below. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this one into the crease as the transition, and I'm going to have it kind of high too, because she comes in with quite a few shades. I really liked her final eye look. I thought it looked really pretty, and hopefully I can like somewhat get on that same page here. I'm super into like the mustard yellow, so I am feeling this one. And then she went ahead with this kind of like peachy corally color, and she put that on the inner and outer part of the eye. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my same brush here, and I'm going to dust this on the outer part of the eye, and then also a little bit on the inner. And she also does put a couple other shades on top of it, so I'm not being like super precise or anything like that. And she does a bit of that shimmer halo eye that I love so much also. So I'm just kind of leaving the center blank, but if I get some shadows in there, you know, it's not like a huge deal or anything like that. But even though to me the final look, because she had it like in the beginning of her video, I was like, oh my gosh, how did she achieve that? And you know, my mind is like, how did she do that? It looks super complicated. And as she was going through it, I was like, wait a second, that actually looks a lot easier than I was anticipating. And then when I was grabbing out the brushes for it, I was like, wait, I only need the a very few amount of brushes to complete this look too. So I was like, wait a second, because I don't know, I guess I'm used to, and this is why I love Halo Eyes, is I get used to having to do so much blending and grabbing, you know, a clean blending brush and a blending brush for this color and that color, and I just feel like you don't need that with the Halo Eyes, and it's probably why I do them so much. And then next up, we're gonna pick up the red right here, and we're gonna do the same thing, the inner and outer part of the eye, so just kind of laying it atop that coral. And she said in the video that it kind of made the look a little bit more pink, so she kind of plays around a little bit with that. But I'm just gonna follow the steps, you know? Is anyone else like, I just need, even if someone's like, oop, that was a mistake, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do. So just once again, focusing that on the inner and outer part and then blending it. So that's why I like to keep this brush too, because it's also, you know, a nice blending brush. So after I'm done with each step, I can just go ahead and make sure everything is still looking blended. So next she said she wanted to try to bring back more of the red, so she came in with more of this orangey shade here, and once again, putting it in the same spot. Go ahead and add that to the inner and outer parts of the eye. Kind of take my time because the Juvia's Place eyeshadows, they are really nice. I have a lot of Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. The Decay is one of my favorites, but the pigmentation in these are super nice, but at the same time, especially because when working with the more colorful shades, I like to go small, work my way up. Because if I do like too much, like too heavy, then I just get really overwhelmed and I don't know what to do with my life. So just work slowly. Okay, so now for the center part of the lid, I'm going to use this gold shimmer here. I'm going to grab this one out. This is from the Moda Metallics line. That's probably the line you hear me talk about the most. From Moda, I have so many brushes in the metallic collection. A lot of them have made it into my past, you know, favorite brushes video and such, and I just personally really like that collection. So this one is the shader brush here. So I'm going to go ahead and take it dry. I haven't sprayed my brush, and I'm just going to pop that right into the center part of the lid. You can see that that's a really beautiful gold. I typically do like to spray my brushes. You don't have to, especially with Juvia's Place. The mattes and the shimmers are both so nice, but I think I'm just going to spray mine just because I like a little bit more metallic to most of my shimmers, especially when doing a halo eye. She did also come back and grab a little bit of the red on that first brush just to kind of like buff out the edges here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same. Okay, and then for the lower lash line, I just added some brown liner to my waterline, but for the lower lash line, I'm going to mix in, that's not the right brush, Samantha. This is the right brush, also from the metallic line. I'm just going to mix the red and the orange together and then add that to my lower lash lines. I'm just kind of going back and forth between the two shades. And I'm just going to really use that color to smoke out the lower lash line. I'm going to bring it all the way from inner to outer and then have it really connect with the shades that we have on the outer part of the eye. So the brush that I used for that is the Smokey Eye. I feel like that's a great name for it. And then I'm going to grab the smaller brush here. This is from the same set and the set that I chose as my favorite set. Of course, it was from the Moda Metallic line. And this one is actually a lip brush, but I just think it's perfect for a really small like inner corner detail. And I'm going to pick up the white shade. Again, I'm just following Heidi's tutorial along like a happy kitten over here. And I'm just going to add some of that white shimmer here to the inner corner. I didn't spray my brush for this one, and I felt like, yeah, when you kind of mix it, it kind of turns it just like a little bit on the pinky side too. which I noticed right away when she started her video. I thought the inner corner was really pretty, so it's just kind of a mixture of those shades. Alrighty, so that is it for the eyeshadow. I'm just gonna add my mascara and lip color, and then this first look will be complete. Okay, so I went ahead, I did my lashes with the Urban Decay Perversion mascara for highlight. I added my highlight. This is the Zuma highlight from Persona Cosmetics, and I applied that with this highlight brush from the Moda Metallics line. This is the Highlight and Glow brush. I've been really liking this for highlight. And then for my lip color, I chose Naturale from Pixi Beauty to finish everything off. So this is the final look using the Juvia's Place Festival palette. You'll have to let me know what you think of it. Again, make sure to check out Heidi's video because I just totally went step by step through her tutorial. So check out her video. Let me know what you thought of how you thought I did, and let me know what you think. Your thoughts on the festival palette. Do you think I should keep this one in my collection? Do you think I should say goodbye to it? I would love to know. I actually really do like this eye look. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I don't do reds a ton, but honestly, like I don't feel like it's too far out there. I feel like I would do this. So like I went pretty heavy on the lower lash line, mostly to kind of like continue to try to mix it up for me. This is actually a really pretty fall look, and I'm definitely not mad at it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, and then let's move over to palette number 2. Alrighty, so I am back. It's been a couple hours. I have straightened my hair, I have some jewelry on. I did go ahead and wipe off my eye makeup, but this is the same day and everything. So I kept my lipstick on, but I did wipe off my eye makeup, so it might be looking a little crazy. I put concealer back on. But we're just gonna go ahead and jump into a look at number 2. So I'm using the Yes Please palette from Colourpop. I did get some questions of why am I calling it the Yes Please if it says cute AF on the front. It does say Yes Please on the back, and I really have no idea. When this was coming out, Colourpop was promoting it as Yes Please. If you go to Colourpop and Ulta, it says it's the Yes Please palette. So I think when everybody got it and it said cute AF on the front, everybody was like, I don't understand, but I don't know. This is the Yes Please palette. I don't know how to, that's all I know. So when I was talking about this in my chopping block video, I said that I love Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. I own a ton of them. I've bought a ton of them. They're some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and especially because they're more affordable, I just think that they're fantastic. But for whatever reason, the Yes Please, I just was never sold on it. Something about this palette just feels different. And it was interesting because a lot of people said the same thing in the comments. You love so many other Colourpop palettes, you have not been able to get into the Yes Please. So I thought that was interesting, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. Now I think one thing with me with the Yes Please, because we have this pop of yellow in here, I feel like I somehow always have to incorporate that yellow. And I feel like almost every single time I've done a look with the Yes Please, somehow that yellow has been involved. I don't wanna use the yellow today because I feel like especially when I do a yellow look, it can kind of limit me. I'm gonna do something more in like my comfort zone, what I normally do, because I don't normally do that with this palette, so I kind of want to do something different, and I feel like I went out of my comfort zone with the Juvia's Place palette. So I'm going to do a little bit something more along my own lines. So let me put my ears on, get zoomed in, we will get started. These two palettes that got voted on have mirrors, so I'm having to like do one of these. But first I'm going to reach in and grab this just real light shade right here. I did go ahead and reapply concealer after I took off my first look, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this to set my concealer. I'm using again from the Moda Metallics line. This is the Super Crease brush, and you see me use this brush all of the time for this particular step. It's definitely one that's pretty much in my daily routine. I'm going to take that all the way up to the brow bone and then hit the inner part of my eye with this as well. Alright, and then I'm just going to take this brown down here on the last row, and that's going to be my first transition color. I'm coming back in with the Crease / Smudge brush. It says that because it's a double-ended brush. I don't think I pointed that out the first time. You're probably like, Crease and Smudge, that's two different things. Double-ended brush with this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start to work this into my crease here. And again, just like I did with the yellow in the first one, I'm just having this be slightly above also. I'm gonna keep the same brush, and I'm gonna come into the next darker brown here. So like I said, I'm doing something a little bit more of me. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab that one and do the same thing. I'm just going to focus that just a little bit lower than that first shade. Feels weird doing my makeup with my lipstick already done because my lipstick is usually always my last step. But I use that Pixi liquid lipstick, and these stay on really well, so I figured it was really hard getting the red eyeshadow off. If that palette hadn't been the most voted on, so that was 42%, and then I checked this one won the second poll at 34%. So if that hadn't won, I probably would have done it second, but maybe I should have thought about it, because yeah, removing red eyeshadow was extremely difficult. So after that, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave the lipstick on and maybe like put a gloss on once we're done, because that was a challenge in of itself. So I thought I'd just go ahead and keep the lipstick on, but it's like weirding me out. And I have my earrings on because I actually filmed. I finished with the first eye look. I filmed another video, took a little break, ate a little snack. I mean, that Pixi lipstick, these are really nice liquid lipsticks. Ate a snack and now I'm back to film again. So I'm gonna come back and grab that same shader brush from the metallic line, and I want to use this shimmer right here. And I did go ahead and spray my brush because I know that it can help with this shade. And I'm just gonna go ahead, and it just makes it so pretty. This one kind of has a little bit like of cranberry vibes, I would say, but it's a really pretty shimmer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that all over the lid. Like I said, this one is a lot more simpler for me than the Juvia's Place one. Like, I didn't need to follow no one's tutorial for this one. Like, I got this, you know, I got this one. But I think it's a really pretty, just again, simple look, but that's what I wanted to do with this palette, and just see, you know, is it really worth kicking out of my collection? Let's just try it one more time and see what we think. So I'm just going and patting that all over the lid. Then I'm gonna grab that same blending brush and just make sure everything is nice and blended. Alrighty, and then for the lower lash line, I went ahead and added some of the brown to my waterline. I'm gonna take the other end of my Crease and Smudge brush, and I'm gonna mix kind of more of like this reddish tone with the first light brown. So I'm just gonna mix those two together and add that to the lower lash line. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to grab the same lip brush, and I'm going to pick up this gold shimmer on the second row. I'm just going to go ahead and add that to the inner parts of my eye. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, so I feel like we got another red look going on right now, so that's kind of fun. But I'm going to go ahead and do the finishing touches, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so I finished it off once again with the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I used the Pixi by Petra Delicate Dew for a highlight. I used kind of more of like the kind of like golden highlight, I would say. And then once again, I used the Moda Highlight and Glow Brush. Yes, okay, thought I said blush. And then I topped off my Pixi lip color with the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, the like original gloss bomb. So that is the final look. Again, more red than I think I was originally starting with, but this is the final one that we got from the Colourpop Yes Please palette. I do really like the look. I like that I decided not to use the yellow, because again, I felt like I just kept falling into that trap every time I was grabbing out the Yes Please palette, and I still like that the way that this look came out. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Alright, so I would love to get your feedback on what you thought of my eye looks with the Juvia's Place Festival palette and the Colourpop Yes Please palette. Which look did you prefer more? Which palette would you prefer? Like, say these palettes were up against each other in my collection in the declutter. Which one do you think I should keep? Which one do you think I should declutter? I would just love to know your thoughts. Did you guys like this style of video? You know, my chopping block video was new to me. This video then obviously is new to me, so you have to let me know your thoughts on it. But a lot of people requested it, so I thought that it would be fun to do. So of course, let me know your thoughts. Again, a big thank you to Moda Brushes for working with me on this video and for selecting me as the Moda Maven for the month of November. That really means a lot. Make sure to check the description box for my code and some of the links for all of the brushes that I used today. And then again, some of just my favorite brushes in general from Moda, that will all be down there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.